All right, everybody, welcome on in on episode 609. Every time I see 09, I think of Formula 409. Y'all remember that stuff?
Oh yeah, I still do.
You know what I get to do real quick that
What?
I haven't had the privilege of doing in such a long time?
What is that?
Get ready for this. It's been so long.
I wanted to give you a feeling of accomplishment this morning.
Thank you. I needed that. Thank you, Kay. That just brought so much joy to me here on a marvelous Monday. Kay's Monday mindset. It put me in the right mindset.
Did it?
Yeah. See,
we'll
Rick.
just make this
Look. Rick's. There we go. Don't that just bring a little joy to you?
It brings something to me.
Yeah.
Now you need to adjust Rob's.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Just get you one of the. Do you have one of those sticks with the hook on it yet, Rick?
Yes.
Does he really? Yes.
I'm old. It's
Hey.
hard to bend over.
Hey, you know what's funny is I have one of those sticks too, and I
Do you?
keep it away from the kids so they don't break it because it's.
Well, I use it to fend off the kids. Get back.
Does it have the handle on it?
Yeah.
Oh, those are great. Whoever invented that,
I know.
man, it makes you think about why did we miss out on these great opportunities?
I agree. Well, I actually got it because our dogs would eat chewy toys, and they didn't like the middle part, so they would be all over the house, and I have to pick them up.
You don't want to get the slobber toys, so you just use the hook.
No, we
No,
didn't want to
but-
bend over to pick them up.
Oh, okay.
They were little. They were rawhide wrapped with bacon.
I noticed the other day that I don't like to bend over to pick up stuff. It just all these things that you hear about when you're younger, you think it's all hogwash. Like, oh, they're complaining about their knees. There's no way your knees will ever hurt. Or, oh, so-and-so's complaining about his back. Or, so-and-so can't bend over to pick that up. That's all garbage. How can you not do that? And then even at 41, I'm starting to realize that all that stuff is extremely true. And
Sure is.
oh, man, where were we at yesterday? We were here at church yesterday morning. And Caden, they do some really cool things with the kids in the mornings. And they, with the children, and they glued a bunch of stuff together, little projects and things
kids?
like that. Yeah.
They glued the kids
They
together.
glued the kids together. It was great. And they played Siamese twins. I mean, it was really neat. It was a whole game. No. But no, they were gluing little construction paper projects. And one of the things that my children know is Miss Molly keeps a box of suckers in our little church office around the corner behind the door. Mm-hmm. My children know where that box is, and they know that after service that they can go now on their own and get one sucker apiece, and they do it after every service. As soon as we get them out of the nursery, they run into there and go. In fact, Braylon knows not to run off. Well, the other last week she ran off. Where's she at? And I told Bridget, I said, I know where she is. And sure enough, she was in there getting her sucker right after service. She took off. Well, Caden had dropped his little construction paper project. And I started to reach down to pick it up, and I was like, no, I'm not doing that. And so I said, Caden, pick that up. He said, no, Daddy. I said, Caden, please pick that up. Daddy can't bend over anymore. And so
It only gets worse from here, Rob.
I want to get my hook. So
You need a hook. I'll get you a gold-plated one. How's that?
Thank you. Well, welcome in 609, episode number 609, as we get rolling here on a very marvelous Monday. As always, thank you to Elliot Herzlich from Elliot's Jewelers. He's online at elliotsjewelers.com for all of your jewelry needs. And we would not be here, of course, without Kay and Rick Boning, Tomorrow's Promise Montessori Schools. They are the experts when it comes to early childhood education here throughout Walker County. You can find out more information online at tomorrowspromise.info. I know y'all have 3 locations. I love the Academy. We used to go to the main original location downtown, and then you have the Children's House over off Sycamore, correct? Mm-hmm. And I know where it is. I just, 5 years, I still don't know the road. I still use GPS to get around in Huntsville. You do that?
That's kind of sad.
I know. I do it.
Not to get around Huntsville, no.
See, I do it because I want to know what's going on with the traffic. It's became wired into me. Kay, you taught me about how you get put on autopilot. I'm on autopilot every day that no matter where I'm going, I mean, even if it's to like the Elkins Lake Clubhouse, I'll say navigate to the clubhouse because I want to know what's going on with the traffic.
Well,
I will admit, since we moved to the new house, I have used it to figure out the quickest way from the new house to things, because I knew all the quick ways from the old house.
from Elkins Lake.
Well, there's only a couple of ways in and
Yeah.
out Elkins Lake. So, I mean, where I live now, there's like
You
not
can go
15
three
different
different
directions you could
directions.
go,
Like, and that's good for
And it does matter the time of day.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've learned, boy, I hit it wrong the other morning, and this was on when was this? Maybe Friday or a Friday ago, maybe last Friday or a week ago. I don't remember what it was, but I've been really good about trying to get here and be on time. But the other
And
morning,
you've been doing an excellent job.
well, not last week, the week before, Braylon threw a major colossal fit, and I said, I'm tired of blaming my children. I'm trying to get them into a good routine, and we're getting better, so it's made things a lot better.
Well, they're getting older, so that helps.
It's helping, but Braylon just would not have it, and it was like an hour and a half to get out of the house. And so I was running really late, and I was telling whoever I was on the show, I can't remember if it was Thursday or Friday. I think it was Thursday, actually. It was a Thursday. And because I remember telling Jason, hey, I'm going to be running late. Well, it was like 7:45 before I finally got over here. And I'm going to tell you, I never hit that boy, I'm so bad with directions, but there's that road as you are, the little feed store that's back over here?
Yeah.
And then there's you go by the state. If you turn left, it's one way, and Johnson Coliseum's over there on the right. Where you go down and it's only one way, and then there's a Coliseum. And if you go right, then you come around McCafferty Electric. That's a better way to describe it. McCafferty Electric, that intersection where McCafferty Electric is.
Right.
And I guess
That's on Sycamore.
Bowers Boulevard at Sycamore, I think is the roads, if I'm not
I
mistaken.
think so.
Well, or Bearcat Boulevard. That's
Yeah,
what it is.
Bearcat Boulevard.
So Bearcat Boulevard at Sycamore. Boy, if you hit that at the wrong time, you are sitting there for a good 5 minutes waiting on cars to pass. And normally, I'm leaving so early that none of the students are out yet or anything like that, and there's no one there. But I'm going to tell you, that last Thursday, when I hit that sucker, it's very rare that I start beating on my steering wheel because it's my own fault that I was late. But that steering wheel got a little knocking going on. I was like, come on. Because it was 5 minutes, man. They were just whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. So my question is there other intersections that you can think of just from experience driving around that get really, really busy?
Interstate and 11th.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
11th and University Avenue, too.
Yeah.
Or Sam Houston Avenue.
You're talking about the Interstate at 11th. That's where the Smileys is, that corner right there.
Mm-hmm.
The bridge.
Yeah, but the Smileys right there, and then you go over the big bridge. Well, I have a liking to McDonald's, and it's impossible to get out of that McDonald's if you turn left sometimes.
It really is.
Oh,
I
you
think
just
you
go over to the feeder road and get on.
Well, they had that blocked for a while. I don't know if it still is, but for a while you couldn't get out that way because it was blocked.
Yeah, no, we get, and then there's that turning, there's like that little middle turning lane that you can get in, and then you get over. But you're right, if you hit that at the wrong time of the day, hosed.
Yep.
And so what I do, it happened the other day, I turned right, and then I go all the way around, and I go back off Normal Park, and I cut across the Holiday Inn parking lot over there behind Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home, and then I come back on the feeder. So I know what you're talking about, the feeder getting into it. I'm talking about getting out of it.
Well,
You could
you
go
could
out
get
that
out.
way.
Used to get out on the feeder, and then
Oh, yeah, but they had it blocked. Is it blocked still?
I don't know. I don't go to McDonald's like I used to
Okay.
because I have this.
Yeah, I was going to say it's probably a good thing. I need to stop going.
Somebody was complaining about my dollar coffee habit, so
Is it $1 at McDonald's?
no, it's like
Yeah.
$2.17 now, but
Oh my
at the time
gosh.
it was $1.
I remember my dad growing up, just because we're on this random train this morning that we're always on, and Johnny Cash hears it coming right around the bend. My dad, I remember going with him. He always went to this specific gas station, and it was the most ran down, filthy, stinky gas station in all of Georgetown. But it was the nicest guy that ran that place. And I asked my dad, why do you go to this gas station? He goes, well, I don't care how it looks or what it smells like. I know it's ran down, but that guy in there's always been good to me. Well, I found out later what it was. He only charged my dad $0.25 for a cup of coffee. So he would go in there.
Makes sense to me.
My dad was one of them old schoolers that drank coffee and smoked a cigarette. I'm just like,
Well, her dad, when he retired, would go to
Sweets.
Sweets. But the coffee there is like 35 cents to this day.
still that cheap.
Still
huh?
that cheap. I mean, I just can't believe there's like, 14 guys sitting around drinking coffee?
14 to 20.
Yeah.
Speaking of cheap, and I can say this because my uncle never watches this show. He's not even on social media. So speaking
Your
of cheap,
sister will send him the link.
she will, yeah. So speaking of cheap, there used to be these Pico gas stations, Pico down in South Texas, and it was a little parrot, and it was called Pico. And there was a FINA. Remember FINA?
Oh, yeah.
So
Finest in North America.
Yeah. Is that what that stood for? I never knew that.
I was in the oil and gas business.
That's it, FINA. See, the
FINA.
things you learn watching this show. Well, my uncle went to the FINA Pico down in Pearsall, Texas all the time. And he always had this huge, like those 64-ounce monster tubs that you shouldn't be drinking out of. But
It's only a gallon. I mean,
it's a gallon of soda, though. I'm like, my gosh. Well, he had that thing, and that thing was all beat up and tore up. And they had a deal over there at that Pico that it was like 99 cents back then I think it was 49 cents. And it was fill your cup for 49 cents. Well, he took it literal that he could bring his cup. And I guess they just never cared because it was him, and he was so stubborn anyways. He would take that 64-ounce mug of a thing and fill that thing with Coke and carry it around all day long. And I remember my cousin was telling me, he's like, yeah, Uncle abuses that thing. I said, why? He goes, it's to fill their cup. Even though it says your cup, it's their cup in their store. But he walks in like he owns that place and fills that thing up every morning. And I'm surprised they never told him to leave. So I don't know. It's the things you remember when we were kids. We used to go to a gas station, and they had any size for 79 cents. And Kay, you will not like this as an educator. I'd go because we're supposed to take care of ourselves, right? And I would go and football practice in junior high, and I'd be so wore out and sweaty. And you're supposed to hydrate, correct? After working out, after practicing. Well, guess what? The old Techco Diamond Shamrock gas station. Remember those Diamond Shamrock? That's another one you don't see hardly anymore.
Yep.
There's a couple around here. I saw one. But they had a deal where it was 79 cents. Big old huge 48, 50, 54 ounce, something like that. I don't know, whatever is in between. And my dad would take us there after football practice, and I'd load that thing up with this huge soda and drink it after football practice.
You ever heard of Cottonmouth?
No. Probably not good to do that.
No, it's not.
So that was my refreshment after football practice growing up. Anyways, let us know what you remember, a little throwback in the past. Maybe there was something, a gas station you used to go to and, demand free coffee, because some people back in the day could get free coffee if your sports team won. There used to be a deal in San Antonio that if the Spurs won, you got free coffee in the morning. And my dad tried that in Georgetown because years later that gas station would close up, and they said, sir, that's 90 miles away. We don't do that here. So let us know kind of your stories as we get rolling here on Monday, October the 13th. It is Columbus Day today.
Oh, it's also National Kick Butt Day.
It is. Ooh, yeah. Got any bottom bruises this morning from kicking so much butt?
Got foot bruises.
It is. And Rick has a top 10 that we'll talk about a little bit later. Columbus Day, I've always, as a child, we celebrated Columbus Day.
I know.
But you don't hear of a lot of people celebrating it anymore. There was different things that we would do, and it was the anniversary of Christopher Columbus coming to America. I remember in elementary school, they did it every year, but I vaguely remember one year for sure that a guy would dress up and pretend he was Christopher Columbus, and that was our lesson for the day. And we learned about how he came over and all those kind of things. But it's neat to think about these holidays, and I feel like now we have one of these type of holidays every month, it seems like. Now that y'all are here, it's different on Monday, because typically on Mondays, the Credit U Walker County Federal switched with y'all. So they wouldn't be here because they were closed on those holidays.
We're never closed.
Yeah, so the church is closed today, and I said, well, we've got a lot to do, and to me, I like to be up here regardless. I don't like to take a day off during the week, to be honest, but it is neat, and today is also a really good day, and this is nothing political. I never go down that train, but I was awakened this morning, probably 2, 3 in the morning. I started getting alerts on my phone. Trump is now in the Middle East and Israel. They released those hostages.
Yep.
20,
I read that.
20 of those hostages, all of them now released, and boy, that is such a great thing for folks. I was talking to a young man that helps me out on Friday nights with our cameras. He's from Lebanon. And I said, what we deal with here in the United States, it seems big to us because it's the world that we live in. But when you think about what folks in other countries, especially the Middle East, have to live through every day, boy, it really makes you even more grateful to be in America. I was talking to this young man, and he said that we didn't have to. We lived in the northern part of the country, so it wasn't that bad. But he was telling me bombs flying over their homes was just, they were used to it. Mm-hmm. And whenever all that bombing started to happen between Hamas and the countries over there, he said, there was people outside just. There was a video of a wedding taking place. It went kind of viral. They're in the middle of a wedding, and everyone just kind of looks up and sees all these missiles going over, but they knew that they weren't directed at them, so they just started celebrating and dancing again for the wedding. If we had something like that here, everything would completely stop, because that's not the norm here. And unfortunately, and I say all this because unfortunately, in a lot of places, that kind of war is the norm. And it's something that you just grow up with, and you know that at any moment something could happen, and you're just kind of, I don't want to say used to it, but in a way you get used to it. And that's what he was telling me, is that there's so much difference between there and here. Like things that we take for granted, vehicles. There's a lot of vehicles manufactured right here in the United States. He was telling me, he's like, we don't have any vehicle manufacturing plants in Lebanon. They all are imported, and it's all Honda. But then it was weird because he goes, a lot of Mercedes, a lot of BMWs. I was like, man, all right, But that's kind of my focus this morning as we start, and Kay's going to have her Monday mindset as well. But just be reminded of all the goodness that we have here in the United States, that we don't have to worry about literally life and death like some countries do. Yes, there is life and death here, but not at the level that other countries experience. And when he was talking to me, my heart just opened up big time to wanting to learn more about what folks in other places have to endure every day, because we really are blessed here.
We really are.
I didn't wake up this morning fearing for my life. And
I did, but that's because I made K-Man.
Yeah. Rick's hiding out in the back. But seriously, there's places where people aren't getting good sleep at night because that's something that's around them all the time. And there has been a strive for peace in the Middle East for decades, eons, if you will. And this is great. This news is great this morning to see. And now you don't want to be skeptical, because you've heard of these type of deals before falling apart.
Yep. But
for the sanctity of human life, praise God that those 20 people were released, reunited with their families. It was good news. And usually if I'm getting dings and bings at 3 a.m, I'm like, be quiet. You woke me up. That was something good to wake up to this morning. And it was really neat because as Air Force One flew over, there was I guess on the coast, they had drawn out something kind of on the sand in a way, but it was more painted, and it was like a silhouette of Trump, and it said, "Thank you, President Trump." So Netanyahu this morning had said that no other president in the history of our country has done more for Israel than President Trump. And I'm not saying any of that politically. I'm just stating the facts of what Israel and their prime minister over there has said. And just good news this morning. We need to wake up with some good news today. So at any time you're with Kay and Rick, it's good news.
Is it?
Yes.
That's not what Kay said.
Yeah. Well, hey, we're gonna take a break in just a few moments. I do want all of you.
That was National Dump on K Day.
No. You're upset with me.
I'm not upset with you.
I know.
He's trying to.
It's a joke.
Well, he's trying to make you upset. So then, good job, Rick.
Thanks. Evidently, it's working.
Hey, let us know that you're out there this morning. A lot of folks are already commenting in and joining us. Our number one engager on Hello Huntsville, Quentin Glaze, already chiming in today. How about Kyle Kreiner? Kyle gets the first comment of the day award, whatever that is.
What is it?
It's just a pat on the back.
What's his comment?
Good morning, or morning, y'all. Morning, y'all.
Well, I saw Carolyn Gibson at church yesterday. In fact, Carolyn, I owe you a sign. I will bring it out there today.
Perfect.
She asked for a yard sign.
Bring me one, too, Rick, if you don't mind.
Would it do any good?
Why? Back there? Oh, you're in a whole different
ward. Although, if anybody out there wants one in Ward 1, you can have it.
Come get it. Russell Humphrey, our mayor. Good morning, Mayor. Saying, let's go Huntsville. And our favorite, oh, yeah.
Yeah, where's our
yeah.
yard sign?
Yeah,
Russell?
we need to get one from Russell.
Russell, we need a yard sign. Yeah, bring them up here. Oh, yeah, from Russell Humphrey. We appreciate you, Mayor. Hey, Jennifer Gustanetti joining us. Jennifer, hope you're doing well and back at home. Jennifer saying good morning. It's a marvelous Monday. Y'all have a blessed week. Always great to see you. Our good friend Autumn Wheaton chiming in today and saying good morning, Huntsville family. So she made a great comment. So digging the weather this morning. I had the windows down in the truck. The children love the windows down. And this morning, this is how I know it's officially starting to feel like fall. Braylon said, it's cold, Daddy. Put my window back up. I said, yes. And it was. It was a little chilly.
I actually drove to work with the top up this morning. Or drove here with the top up.
No jacket yet, though.
No.
It's so nice outside this morning.
It's very nice outside.
We were talking at the New Waverly game on Friday. The same young man that his name's James. He's 15. Great, great young man. And I was talking to him because he runs the camera for me. We're a two-man crew. We used to have 5 people with our crew. One of them, his son graduated. The other one, his son's not playing for the team anymore. Another guy moved to Waco. And then my sideline reporter now plays football for Huntsville. So I lost everybody. So it's just been James and me, which has been really cool to, we run the whole production. And James runs the camera, and I kind of do everything else while I'm calling the game. And at New Waverly, you got to climb up a ladder. These smaller schools, the press box, you got to go up a ladder.
It's what? Maybe 10, 15 feet up.
Mm-hmm. And then you open up the door. Well, the thing there, the pneumatic arms on that door are broken. So I usually help. And that door is heavy, and I've learned to use my head as I climb up the ladder to open the door. So if I ever come in here like this and I have a brace on my neck, you'll know what happened.
Been to New Waverly, haven't
yeah,
you?
been to the game. But James, he goes up on the roof, and that's where he films the games. And we run a cord down through the press window, through the press box and all that. And James had mentioned, he goes, man, we have a fan that we usually bring. I bring it for him, and he puts up. He goes, I don't need the fan. It's really nice out here this evening. And I looked, and that's the reason I brought all this up. We have not had hardly any humidity like we normally have over the last week or two. The winds have been blowing out of the north, and that's probably keeping that humidity at bay. It was 30% humidity on Friday evening. That is unheard of around here.
It's usually 70% in my bedroom. This morning it was 50%.
And then you walk out, and it's like 98. I mean, I joke about it on the show, but Jennifer, you are right. It is a beautiful morning. How about Jamie Saucier joining us as always? Good morning to you. Kyle was saying episode 610 is going to be remote from downtown Houston.
Why is that?
I don't know.
Where
Kyle,
are you going tomorrow?
I'm going to be here. Kyle's trying to speak something into existence this morning. Kyle, let us know what you mean this morning. Phyllis Dillard joining us. Good morning to you, Phyllis. Always great to see you. As I mentioned earlier, Quentin Glaze, who always chimes in, is with us. He is there this morning. Oh, hey, my beautiful bride is joining with a little sunshine this morning. Bridget chiming in. So good morning to you, sweetheart. And Kyle was saying earlier that most truck stops will let you fill whatever cup with coffee or soda for a couple of bucks. That makes sense for a truck stop because those guys are on the road. I bet your dad, he probably had a cup, right, when he was driving? Did he have his own cup?
That would have been 30, 40 years ago.
Well, he had a thermos he took it with him.
And he probably put coffee in it.
Mom made that had coffee in it. And the routes he did when he did relief driver, we ran at night, and there wasn't anything open. No gas stations, nothing. So...
Not like it is now.
You planned ahead and you were prepared.
Yeah, nowadays it's like, oh, need to go here? Yeah, probably open.
And probably some of the routes he ran, I'm not sure there's anything open now.
I remember
remote parts of Oklahoma.
I remember
Kansas and Texas.
Y'all remember like those thermoses? They had the flannel, like the red flannel.
It looked like red flannel.
He had the old green one with the silver top.
Oh, yeah.
Stanley.
Those lasted all when Stanley, like before it became cool, right? Some trend took it over.
He carried that thing for years.
Yeah.
Those, I remember, I don't even remember anyone drinking out of it, but I distinctly remember this red thermos that my mom had, and it was like a flannel one.
Yeah.
And I remember as a child opening it and smelling it. It smelled like old coffee, but no one ever drank out of it. And it, it got caked in there. It was seasoned.
Well, that's what my coffee cup is seasoned.
It's got a little. It's
It's
got it in there.
seasoned.
Is that the one you always drink out of?
No, I have several I rotate through.
It's
Depends
weird.
on where he leaves them and when
Yeah.
he finds them again.
We
It's
have.
true.
I need to ask Bridget. We have like 20 of those in the closet. I'm like, why do we have so many of those type of cups?
Because he leaves them places and
See how popular they are? 10 years ago, these weren't all over the place. Now they're everywhere. I guess Yeti, I think, is what made these things get really popular. You know, that Yeti company?
Could be.
And they were so bloody expensive. And now you can get the cheap, like Arctic, RTIC brand, or something like Aardvark or something at Walmart.
I think this is a Walmart cup. It's Mountain something.
Yeti sued a company. I think it was Ozark Trail or one of those.
That's what this is. Ozark Trail.
That's it. Yeti sued them because they had a cup that was 100% just like the Yeti, looked exactly like it. The Yetis were like $50 at the time. Those were $9.99, and I had one, and it worked just as good, if not better, than the overpriced Yeti.
I am all about cheap.
It's called a yuppie for a Yeti. Is what started. They developed this whole cult around them. And then these construction guys, those stinking coolers are expensive. The big white ones, I will see a truck going down the highway with those things just, strapped onto the bed of their truck, and they leave them there all day. And I'm wondering, somebody's going to rip that off from them. Those things are expensive, $300-400 for a stinking cooler. I'll just go to Dollar General and get a styrofoam one and call it a day because I'm going to tear it up and reuse it anyways. By the way, Kyle, this morning, he's on the rig site.
Yeah, he sent you
He
picture.
He just said that he sent us a picture, and maybe during the break I'll fire that up before we have when we go into Kay's Monday Mindset. But thank you for sending that. By the way, real quick before we take that break, Autumn was chiming in this morning. She said, when I worked at the Hitchin Post, the good old Hitchin Post,
out there on the north side of town.
she said, I love how Autumn describes things just in your mind so you can picture it. She says, when I worked at the Hitchin Post, about, and then in parentheses, mumbling years ago, we would tell the truckers, you can have you some coffee for free, kind of our public service to try to keep them awake on the roads. The old Hitchin Post. You don't hear too much about that anymore.
It's still there.
It's still hitching, still posting. Well, let's take a break. Continue to chime in, interact with us this morning. Maybe you're joining us on Spirit Radio as well. We'd love to hear from you, so thank you for being a part of it. And also, if you are joining us today, maybe you are on our Facebook stream. Maybe you're on YouTube. Comment in. We've got some really cool things in the works. One of them is our new Hello Huntsville app, and that app is going to be able to connect you directly to our show. Okay, you'll like this too. And you can go back and see all of the previous episodes on the show. And when we go live on the show, it will pop up in the app and say that Hello Huntsville is live.
That's
that
fantastic.
would be very nice
isn't
because
that
I
cool?
can never find it on Facebook.
So there you go. See this morning? Right there. I programmed it last night. I didn't even have a chance to test it because I said sometime between 7 and 10 I told it to show that if we're live. If we're not live, it doesn't pop up. So the programming is working. But look at that. Live now. We're on the app. Live now. And then, oh, look, there we are.
That's us.
Look at that. And then I hit play, and boom. There. See how quick that was?
Yeah. Is it in real time or is it delayed?
Well, it's delayed. You know,
Okay.
it's the Rick Boning curse filter we have to put on there. So a lot of really cool things in the works. And that was feedback. You know, when you have a vision, it's good to ask other people for feedback to see if that vision may kind of be exactly what you're hoping for. And I kind of shared some things with Kyle on this app over the weekend. I was texting him back and forth, and he gave me some ideas also. And one of them was, he goes, man, you really need to put the show on that app because it'll make it so easy for people to go and find it. We've listened, Kyle. We have heard you, and we are on the right mindset. to
Kyle
start
has
this
some
Monday.
excellent ideas.
He
He's
does.
a smart guy.
Well, let's take a break. When we come back, it is Kay's Monday Mindset, and also we'll have Rick's Top 10 a little bit later, so stay with us on National.
Kick butt day.
That's why I started programming this app. We're trying to kick some butt around here. So we'll step aside. We'll take a break. Let us know that you're out there, and maybe you're off. Let us know what you're up to today as we continue promoting and celebrating all the good that's happening in Huntsville. Rick and Kay were celebrating good. We'll talk about that a little bit later, too, as I heard some bingo was in the works over the weekend. We'll be back in a moment. Stay with us. More to come as we continue on. This is your show. It's Good Morning Huntsville. Stay with us, please.
Tomorrow's Promise Montessori schools believe in creating spaces where children can learn, grow, and use their imaginations. At any Tomorrow's Promise location, children enjoy the largest playgrounds in town. Tomorrow's Promise Montessori is a fun school where every child learns at their own pace, and mastery of a concept is expected before moving on to the next concept. At Tomorrow's Promise, every child is respected, loved, and nurtured for the unique individual that they are.
Tomorrow's Promise Academy on Veterans Memorial now open. Visit tomorrowspromise.info for more information. Education you can trust.
Hi, I'm Billy Cawthon, manager of Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home. We know times of loss are tough, and you need a place to feel comfortable and cared for. At Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home, we pride ourselves on being with you during those really tough days. You can rest assured that we will be on your side and by your side every step of the way. Thank you for your trust. Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home, supporting families every day, every step.
The Oak Ridge Disciple House is a faith-based 501c3 nonprofit Christian character building ministry helping men 18 and older who are suffering from drug and alcohol addictions. If you or someone you know needs help, there is light at the end of the tunnel, and that light can be found through the Oak Ridge Disciple House. For more information, visit oakridgedisciplehouse.com. Since 2010, the Oak Ridge Disciple House has helped men break free from addiction, not with quick fixes, but lasting change through Jesus Christ. They've celebrated 167 graduates at Oak Ridge and 138 more at Interfaith with an 80% success rate. That's compared to just 5% in most secular programs. The fact is, Jesus works. And now, celebrating 15 years, they're building their third house in Tennessee and just launched a women's program, Restoration Ranch in Texas. It's all for God's glory. And here's the heart of it. They never turn anyone away for lack of money. In fact, 95% of families receive scholarships. As one person put it, don't talk about it, be about it. Every penny counts. Donate today at oakridgedisciplehouse.com and help change a life forever. The Oak Ridge Disciple House. Online at oakridgedisciplehouse.com. Real recovery? The church should be transformational. And maybe you've never been to church, or maybe life has left you feeling lost, but Jesus says, "Come to me, all you who labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest." At First Baptist Church, Huntsville, a harbor of hope, we're not trying to fit in with the world. We're here to help you step into something greater, a fresh start, a new life in Christ. Join us this Sunday at 10:45 and see what God can do in your life. Visit fbchuntsville.org. Hope is here, and we're saving a seat just for you.
Loving Jesus, loving people side by side. In this harbor of hope, we are safe inside.
This is KHSP LP, Huntsville, Texas, the spirit of Huntsville.
This is Kay Boning with Tomorrow's Promise Montessori Schools, and you're listening to Spirit Radio.
Spirit Radio.
Back at it, friends, as we continue on here on a marvelous Monday. How about this? 63 degrees this morning. Winds are calm. Wind, though, by the way, back out of the south. It is humid this morning, back up to 90%. Today, though, we'll be in the upper 80s and remaining in those low 60s overnight all week long. Do have a little bit of rain back in the forecast, though, but not until Friday and Saturday and Sunday. Only at 20%. We'll keep you updated throughout the week on the weather. And that is how things are looking as we continue on this morning. Well, hey, we need to celebrate all things in life. Sometimes I think maybe there's something that we do that's really small that we say, whatever. We'll just kind of keep going. Good job, whatever. But you know what, Kay? I like the Monday mindset. I'm going to hand it over to you, but we really need to start focusing and more on celebrating even the small things, the little tiny triumphs in life. So here's Kay's Monday mindset.
Well, we do need to celebrate the power of tiny triumphs. Most of the time you think that big change requires, big action. And, in Robin Sharma's book, The Everyday Hero Manifesto, real greatness is built one small step at a time. It's not giant leaps that make us heroes. It's the daily consistency, the quiet follow-through, and the small wins that add up to something extraordinary. Momentum grows when you do. One small win, finishing a task, offering kindness, or following through builds energy and confidence. Keep that up, and those little moments of progress become unstoppable momentum. And consistency beats intensity. You don't go to the gym. I mean, if you go to the gym and you do one big workout and that's all you do, and then the next day you can't walk, you're not going to go back. But if you start every day with, say, doing 5 push-ups, and then after a week you just make it 10 push-ups, or you add another exercise, you're going to get confidence, and you're going to build up to that big workout that you'll look back a year from now and go, oh, I got started and I did something small. But those small moments of self-trust, they're the foundation for every action for future success. Saying, I can do 5 push-ups today.
That was me this morning. Say, I can be calm and not get impatient with my children, and it worked.
There you go.
It was a small win.
Yeah, you don't need to make a huge, moment to make a difference. You just need to show up and do the right thing, the next thing, start it. And you can do one thing a day with excellence. You can complete one task today, no matter how small, with your full attention and care. And it reminds you that every detail matters. You can send a note, give a compliment or a helping hand, and uplift one person. It keeps kindness in motion. You can make one small promise to yourself or to someone else and keep it. Builds integrity and self-trust. I made a promise in Cancun, and I think Rick's been enjoying it. It's not something I do every day, but he's made comments about it.
No idea what she's talking about.
The promise that she'd give you a foot rub every morning.
Oh, yeah, that's not happening.
And, write down your wins each day. Keep a positive journal. You'd be amazed at how much better you feel after a week of doing that. Also, when you're feeling down, if you go back to that positive journal, you can go, oh, these things happened. This made a difference. Genius has far less to do with genetics and much more to do with your habits.
I agree with that.
It's not who you are that matters most. It's what you do every day that shapes who you become.
Well, who was it? Bell?
The department store?
No. Alexander Graham Bell?
On how many times he failed before he got it right?
Genius is 1% inspiration and 99% perspiration.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I don't think that was Bell.
So small, consistent choices create massive results over time. When life becomes hard or feels hard, focus on what's right in front of you, and even a tiny step forward is still forward. You don't have to climb a whole mountain today. Just take one solid step. Do one thing well, lift one person up, keep one promise. Those tiny triumphs stacked on top of each other will take you further than you can imagine. Let this be the week that you start small and keep going.
That's really good because, I'm not super transparent on a ton of things in my life publicly. And what do I mean by that? I mean, there's some things that people deal with that, you don't air out there to everybody. But one thing that I'm very, I don't know how to word this, but I don't like being super public, but I suffer from a lot of depression. And I'll have really good, and I think it's something that it's okay to talk about because Pastor was telling us this weekend that like 50% of people suffer from it. It's something that if you put a room in 100 people, there's 50 people in that room that are going to, whether you see them or not. And me and the public, I'm all bubbly. Hey, how's it going? But inside, there's a lot of depression that I deal with. And I have really good days. And y'all have been around me. You probably can see that. And I've had days to where I'm just like, man, I feel like the whole world's against me. But I've learned something through this. And the reason I'm open about sharing that, not to divulge depression with people, but the reason that I share that is because when I take the moment to do what you just said and celebrate the small victories, it puts things in a whole different perspective. It really does. And I think for those of you that may be in that same boat to where you suffer from depression from time to time, it's hard to see good things in the middle of a negative moment or when you feel down. But I'm going to tell you what, when you surround yourself with people who remind you of good things, and when you yourself celebrate the small victories, it does make a huge difference, especially for people that do have bouts of depression. Like I said, there's moments to where I'm just like, what's the point? I'll be honest. Like, I'm not talking like night kitty stuff, if you know what I mean. But I'm talking about you wake up some morning, you're like, what's the point of doing this? It's going to be the same thing today. And I get into that mindset sometimes. And I'm typically one that's full of a lot of gratitude, and I go around preaching it to people. But there are mornings when I wake up and I'm just like, here we go again. And then in my mind, I'm like, well, here's the definition of insanity, doing the same thing, expecting a different result.
Exactly.
But I have to stop myself because I also believe that sometimes that's the enemy attacking us because he wants us to feel defeated. But in those moments, when I catch myself thinking like that, Kay, I'm so glad that you brought that up, is because I do celebrate the small things. Like this morning, it would have been really easy for me to slip back into a really bad negative mindset. But I'm
glad you didn't.
Well, I chose this morning. When I woke up, I said, you know what I told myself last night? I wanted to celebrate this win. And I'm not saying this to make it about me. I'm saying this to inspire somebody else that maybe you're going through something similar. But I last night I said, you know what? Tomorrow's going to be a great day. I told myself, and I prayed. That's the key thing, too. Number one, pray. But I prayed last night, and then I was telling myself before I went to sleep last night, I said, you know what? Tomorrow is going to be the best day that I've had in a long time. I just told myself
that. I'm glad to hear that.
And I said,
so how's it going?
It's going great. It's going really good.
What are you doing after the show?
I'm going to get back to work.
Well,
I got to do my taxes.
You can also, I mean, because Rick knows this. I mean, I've had depression.
She's been very depressed.
Very bad for years. Mm-hmm. And since I've started on this positive mindset and doing certain things each day, I haven't had a problem with depression for a long time.
Yeah, it's been a while.
I've had some things rock my boat that would have caused spiraling years ago.
And I have been surprised that she hasn't.
Yeah. But one thing, the time change is coming up. And people always say, oh, I don't have time to do this, I don't have time to do that. Well, you're getting ready to gain an hour. Mm-hmm. So continue to get up this same time that you've been getting up. Spend 15 minutes exercising. Spend 15 minutes reading something positive.
Like the Bible.
That's a different topic. Spend 15 minutes reading something positive, a positive mindset, affirmations, do, some positive books. Robin Sharma is a good person to start with. Spend 15 minutes in praying spiritually, and spend 15 minutes writing down what's good. Spend an hour, take that hour that that everybody's going to just roll over and go back to sleep. Take that hour and work on this, and you would be surprised how your mind and your day and everything starts changing. And then there's bad moments in a day. I had some really bad moments Friday. I mean, some really bad moments Friday. But I had a good day Friday. So I could have chose to say, my whole day sucked because of those bad moments I had. And they rocked me. Rick knows they rocked me.
Oh, yeah.
They were bad. And, I was like, okay, I had a bad moment. The whole day's going to be better.
Yeah. That's good. That moment should not define the rest of the day.
Oh, well, the moment lasted about 4 hours.
Yeah. Like this morning.
And could have continued.
this morning, and nothing serious like that, but I really have, and we've strived to get on a routine, but I get extremely frustrated in the mornings when I know I've got to be somewhere, and I get up early and I do everything that I need to do, and then the children don't cooperate, and it's a challenge with Bridget working and with me having to be here early. There's a reason that people that do things like this early in the morning, that their other half like has a job where they go in at like 10 a.m. Now I get it. I was around it all the time in a radio business with all of our radio hosts. Now they had to be there at 4:30 in the morning, but every one of my radio hosts were like, they either didn't have small children anymore, or they had they had a nanny.
No, you're in bed. You're blaming, you're making excuses, or you're denying.
Mm-hmm.
You need to pick up your oar, ownership, accountability,
Yep.
and responsibility. You're in bed. Stop it. Pick up the oar. I had 3 boys,
Get up and go.
and I had to open the school.
Yeah. So what
Other people depended on me to get there,
got to get there. Yeah.
and I had 3 small children.
So what I'm saying is, not in a negative way, but in a positive way, just what you just said. I could choose to say, well, this is going to be bad. This ain't going to happen or that, or I can have a different mindset. And like this morning, I had a totally different mindset about the whole thing. And Braylon still threw a fit, and I could have allowed that fit to define the whole morning, but I had to stop as a parent, take a break, go back and say, you know what? It's going to be okay. And the children, you know this, the children feed off of you. Mm-hmm. And if they see you spiraling, then they think it's okay for them to spiral.
Yep.
And then it creates this whole World War 30 that we haven't even seen yet. And so I've became just what you just said. You know, I take that positively because it's just what you just said, where I'm starting to realize they're feeding off of me and everything that I do. And I get frustrated as a parent, but you know what I've learned to do in that moment? Because when you're in the moment, sometimes it's chaotic. I've had to force myself to step out. Sometimes I just have to step out of the room, go into the garage or something by myself. And I will go in the garage and I'll be like, and then I'll come back in. I don't want my children to hear that. But sometimes I've learned, that's what I've got to do. I've got to step out, because if I don't step out of that situation, man, I'm going to let the emotion and everything, and I'm just going to be, come on, hurry up, let's go. I can't do that. I've got to step aside, take a deep breath, and come back in. And it's been one of the hardest things that I've had to learn, because I am very impatient on some things, but I've also learned that children, you have to have patience. And that's one of the biggest things that I've learned as a parent is to be patient. Going back to the radio side of things, you know, there was our radio hosts that would come in at like 4:30 in the morning, but I'm serious, like their spouses would have jobs at like 10 a.m. and all of our hosts, they all looked like they were ready just to fall over and say good night. And I was like, what's so wrong? And they're like, well, you know, I get up and do this, and then my husband or my wife, it was just depending on who was the host, they're the ones taking care of the kids and this and that. And I said, well, you chose to be in the industry. And it's just like I chose to do this in the morning. Mm-hmm. And you got to find a way to make it work. And just like you said, Kay, you got up, you got your kids there, and, you know, you do what you have to do. And you can either live. Rick Warren has a good book called The Purpose-Driven Life. Mm-hmm. And for so long, I started to acknowledge unknowingly that I was trying to make myself the victim all the time of every little circumstance instead of being a victor. And secondly, I wasn't living a purpose-driven life. I felt like I was living an excuse-driven life. Mm-hmm. And so you can make that decision this morning, and I think it ties into your Monday mindset. If you celebrate the little small things, you can find a greater purpose in what you're doing every day. You can find purpose instead of excuses. And that's something that I'm working really hard on, is I don't want to feel like, oh, well, woe is me, and this is how. And I've talked to Jason a lot about it. But there's things, you know, depression and all these other things tie into all that, and you've got to start to dissect what's the root of it. And the root of a lot of what I deal with is just trying to get into this static routine and to quit doing things that don't work and try to do something else. I think a lot of times in life, and I'm not going off.
And you do that one little step at a time. Mm-hmm. You change one thing, and you go with it.
I think a lot of times in life, we may not realize it, especially those that suffer with bouts of depression, that we don't realize sometimes that we try so hard to make things work that just won't ever work. And it's okay to say, that's not working. I need to do something else. But you hold on to things because you don't want to feel like you failed, because you've got all this weight of I've got to pay the bills, I've got to do this and this. It's okay to say, you know what? That didn't work the way that I hoped that it would work. So I'm going to go back and pray about it, which I should have prayed about it to start with. I'm going to pray about it first. And then if it still doesn't work, then I'm going to try a different angle. It doesn't mean to give up on what you're doing. Now, what I will say is if you're going to start a business, make sure you do your market research first. Like I was joking the other day, don't open up a snow ski shop in Huntsville because you ain't going to sell any snow skis. But I think were you with me on that episode?
Yeah.
But we can sell water skis and you'd be all right. But it is a really good mindset. And that's the whole point of Kay doing this, by the way. I want to encourage our audience, listen to what she says and go back and read our website and reread these articles, because that's the first step of changing what you do, is going back and reading information. And he's saying, you know what, I'm going to apply this. We can sit here and talk about all this all day long, but if we don't apply these things, we don't see the change. And that's the definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and over, expecting a different result. It's just like at church on a Sunday, right? We listen to a sermon, but if we don't apply what we've listened to, then we don't see the fruit of that. And Pastor Jason had such a great sermon this Sunday. We've been talking about anxious for nothing. We get anxious for nothing sometimes when we just need to, what's the old phrase? Keep calm and carry on. You don't hear that anymore. So, well, really good mindset this morning, Kay. You'll find it on our website at hellohuntsvilletx.com. Let us know some things maybe that you deal with. If you're public, I mean, I don't want you to open up your heart to us, but maybe some things, some challenges that you faced in life and how you've applied these small victories to help you. We'd like to hear about that. We'll step aside. We'll come back as we'll have National
Kick butt.
I can't really kick that hard anymore, Rick.
Well, don't look at me. My knees don't work.
Your toe sure is purple, buddy. You've been kicking a lot of butt. We'll step aside. We'll take a break as we've got more coming up. This is your show. It is Good Morning Huntsville here on a very marvelous Monday, brought to you by Tomorrow's Promise. We'll have Rick's Top 10. We'll wrap it up when we come back. Stay with us.
Hi, I'm Billy Cawthon, manager of Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home. We know times of loss are tough, and you need a place to feel comfortable and cared for. At Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home, we pride ourselves on being with you during those really tough days. You can rest assured that we will be on your side and by your side every step of the way. Thank you for your trust. Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home, supporting families every day, every step.
Imagine a voice of hope reaching every corner of Huntsville, from homes and hospitals to prison walls. That's the heart of Spirit Radio. We're a truly local 501c3 nonprofit, and we're raising $25,000 to build our tower and get on the air. With your help, we'll broadcast encouragement, truth, and the love of Christ across our community and across the world through the Spirit Radio FM app. Visit spiritradio.fm and give today. Let's bring light to Huntsville and beyond together.
Hey friends, Rob Hipp, Media and Community Outreach Minister here at First Baptist Church, Huntsville. Let me ask you, when's the last time you felt real hope? Maybe it's been a while since you've been to church, or maybe you've never felt connected to a church at all. Well, friends, that's okay. Here at First Baptist, we're a harbor of hope, and we welcome everyone just as they are. We have programs throughout the week for all ages to come together, ask questions, grow in faith, and find the hope that only Jesus Christ can bring. Whether you're looking for a fresh start or a community to call home, we'd love for you to join us. Come experience something real. For more information, visit fbchuntsville.org. First Baptist Church Huntsville, a harbor of hope.
This harbor of hope, we are safe inside.
Hey friends, this is Rob Hipp, and I'm here to talk about a true expert in the real estate world. Let me introduce you to my good friend, Terry Coleman of the Coleman Realty Group.
With 33 years in the business, I've dedicated my life to making your real estate dreams come true. Specializing in residential properties, I serve Walker and Montgomery counties, from Spring to Trinity and areas all around.
They call her your next door agent, and here's why.
I'm not just here to help you find a home or lease a property. I'm here to build lifelong relationships. Whether it's residential or commercial, farm or ranch listings, there's something for everyone.
Now you might wonder, what sets Terry apart from other real estate agents? Well, it's simple. She goes above and beyond for her clients, like the time she surprised a family from California with a fully decorated Christmas tree and gifts when they returned from closing. You shouldn't have to compromise on the joys of home during life-changing moments. So, if you're ready to make your real estate dreams come true, here's what you need to do.
Visit my website at myrealtorterry.com and let's make those dreams a reality.
That's Terry Coleman, your expert in all things real estate.
I'm Terry Coleman, your next door agent, and I can't wait to help you open the door to your new life.
And now, coming at you from 1229J across from the... What's that movie going on? The Carrasco? 11 days filming. It's time to kick some butt with Rick Boning.
We saw them filming.
We've been getting,
I wasn't asked to be an extra, and they didn't want to use any of my cars.
We've been getting free breakfast here for 3 weeks, buddy.
What?
Rick's Top 10, here it is. What do you got for us today on kicking some butt? I don't even know what it is today.
Well, good morning, Huntsville. That's what it's about.
Welcome.
It's National Kick Butt Day. So, are you going to kick some butt?
Already am.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah.
It's time to grab your coffee, pull on your boots, and give life a little motivational shove, Texas style.
Okay, I like it so far.
Here's a quick list, so strap on.
All right, wait a minute, Rick. Are we motivating folks or are we threatening them?
Well,
We're kicking
a
butt.
little of both, Kay. Inspiration wears spurs around here. Here we go. Number 10, start the day right. Kick your alarm clock's butt. Nothing like beginning Monday with a little violence and a lot of regret.
That's one way to hit snooze.
Kick your bad habits butt, except caffeine. Coffee's not a habit, it's medical.
Especially for Rick.
Kick your to-dos list butt, or just rename it your suggestion list. Lower the pressure, raise the confidence.
There you go.
Genius. My suggestion list is long and judgmental.
I know, I'm usually in there.
You're usually you're at the top of the list always.
I love you too. Kick your diet's butt by meal prepping a salad, then accidentally dropping it a Whataburger. Fate does what fate wants. Kick cluttered butt. If your truck's got more fast food bags than horsepower, it's time for a deep clean or an exorcism.
French fry fossils are not antiques.
Number 5 is kick procrastination's butt. I should have practiced that one. Kick procrastination's butt. You can do it tomorrow. Well, small wins count.
Story of my life.
Kick negativity's butt. Smile at that person who took your parking spot. Wave with all your fingers. It confuses them. Wrong wave. Number 3, kick your fitness goals butt. 10,000 steps count even if you're pacing looking for your phone. Cardio's creative.
Especially when the dog's involved.
Number 2 is kick excuses butts. I'll Start Monday is a historical fiction, right up there with I'll Only Watch One.
I'm guilty there.
And the number 1 way to celebrate National Kick Butt Day, channel your inner Chuck Norris. Born in Texas, raised on roundhouse justice. And remember, here in Huntsville, we don't just kick butt, we monogram it first. So go out there, Huntsville, and kick butt.
Get something done, and if you run out of butts to kick, call me. Rick's got a laminated copy of any to-do list waiting on him.
Well, there it is. I like that. I like y'all's interaction on that, too.
Yeah.
I like it. There it is, Rick's Top 10.
And Kay came up with
And
that.
Kay coming up with it. Good job, Kay. I love that this morning. Get out there and kick some butt today. Well, hey, before we wrap it up, I know y'all got to get rolling. I've got to get taxes done for the extension. That's just
Are you going to get mine done, too?
good night. That's a couple days away. I'm almost done. Finally.
I'm hoping my accountant's got mine ready to file.
Oh. Do y'all do it? I always do the extension every year.
We have to.
Yeah, so.
Our accountant evidently can't count.
Well, real quick before we go, I know you guys got to get rolling. I did want to highlight one thing that we teased earlier. Y'all were at an event this weekend, a really important event for the Boys and Girls Club of Walker County. Michelle does such a great job over there. Tell us how it went. I heard there was some bingo success in this one for y'all, possibly, for one of y'all.
Yeah, so first round, I got to stand up. I never get to stand up. I was the first one standing, and then they called 5 more numbers, and somebody else won.
But she was very happy to stand up. You're supposed to stand up when you only got, one number
one
to go?
One to
one
go.
number left to
Yeah.
go.
So
I got a few dirty looks at the table, though, you know.
Who looked at you dirty? Oh, kicked her butt. Actually, we was a guest of Troy and Rachel Beatty.
Awesome.
Troy just gave me this. Are you kidding me? Look. I stood up.
Troy with Cafe Texan, right?
Yeah.
18
Yeah.
Now 1836 too. Yeah. Wow. Well, Rick, I heard you had some success though.
On the very last round, I won. It was blackout bingo, and I got to stand up, and they called 2 or 3 numbers, and I think the third one they called was the one that made me win. And I won we won a weekend.
Winnebago.
No,
Yeah.
we did not win a bagel.
Winnebago.
Yeah, we got a weekend trip.
We have a weekend
nice.
trip to Schulenburg to a bed and breakfast there.
Wow. That's a great prize.
Yeah.
Was that the last game, the
It
blackout?
was the last game.
Awesome. So see, that's why you don't leave these events early. You stay till the end because you never know. You got a chance to win.
We did stay to the end, and I offered to give it to Troy, but he didn't want it. Because we probably wouldn't have gone if it hadn't been a guest.
Schulenburg's aren't they famous for antiques and stuff like that too, I think?
I think they are.
It's a nice little area.
I'll have to leave the credit card at home, though.
Yeah.
She does like antiques. That's why she's married to me.
Well, that's great. Well, friends, thank you all for hanging out with us. Always a lot of fun. Great way to start your week. Remember to celebrate the small victories this week. And if you can't, just sit down right now. Write down something that you want to celebrate this week. Kay, before we go, any final comment? I like your ring, by the way. I never noticed that green one. You probably have it on. I never noticed it.
Yeah, that's
So.
my husband got it for
I
me.
like that one. Well, any final comments before we go? It's been a fun morning. Thank you all for hanging out.
Pick one thing and start working on it.
And
A little bit at a time.
And it can't be your nose. I guess if that is a victory, Rick. Any final comments?
For
Rick?
any 2-year-old, yes, it is.
I'm with you, Rob.
We'll end with that this morning.
Okay,
so.
we should.
Well, hey, a lot going on
we
here.
definitely should end with that.
Yeah, a lot going on. Hey, have a great week. Those of you that are off, enjoy it. Those that aren't, enjoy it. And celebrate the small victories today as we continue promoting and celebrating the good here in our community. Be on the lookout, too, for our app. We have it pending in the app stores of Apple and Google. They said 3 to 7 days to review it. So just say a prayer that those go through. All the pre-checks checked out, and we didn't get any warnings, which is a good thing. And now they have to manually review the first time you put an app. And I'm glad they do that because back in the day, they just allowed everything to go on those app stores. Now there's a very rigorous security protocol and all that. And so we're excited to have that.
Well, let me know when it goes live because I want to get it.
We will. We'll have you on there. We'll stay locked in and tuned in all week. We got great shows, great episodes, great folks coming on. And we've got a lot rocking and rolling here this week. As I end every show reminding you this morning, we're not strong enough alone to make it on our own. We're really not. So please provide a word of encouragement. Lend a hand of support. I promise somebody out there needs you. And I promise if you're looking for excellent child care here in Huntsville, nobody's doing it better when it comes to early education, early childhood education than Tomorrow's Promise. You can find out more information online at tomorrowspromise.info. With that, we'll see you later. Have a great week. Good morning. God bless. We'll see you back at it tomorrow. See you, Rick and Kay.
Goodbye, Rob. Goodbye, Huntsville.